Hey everybody, and Tony here with a review of Dutch Doubles, which was shown at the Het Muziektheater. The conductor was Clotilde Otranto, and the choreographers for each of the four segments, namely Roulette, Romance, Dances with Harp, and Shape, were by Juanjo Arques, Toon Simmons, Hans van Manen, and Jorma Elo. And the production was by Krien de Koning for Roulette. The videography for Romance was by Renneke Dijkstra. On the harp was Remy van Kesteren from Dances with Harp. And for Shape, the costume and production was by Victor and Rolf. Now, each of these segments have their compositions arranged according to these segments. For Roulette, we have compositions by Michael Gordon, David Lang, and Jacob ter Veldhuis. For Romance, we have Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart. And then for Dances with Harp, we have compositions by Carlos Mechans, Frédéric Mompot, Johann Sebastian Bach, and Heitor Villa-Lobos. And then for Shape, we have Ludwig van Beethoven's music. Now, I used to do ballet ever since I was 5 until I was 10. And I have to say, it was pretty much a great experience for me, even though I did stop at age 10 because I didn't really show that much of an interest anymore. My interest basically shifted to acting, playing the violin, and at times singing, but mostly acting. And I have to say, even though I quit ballet, I actually feel that there was something special in my heart as it was my foundation to becoming a performer. And every time I watched this production of Dutch Doubles, there's a certain fondness that basically kept on, burning inside me. The same thing I feel when watching productions of The Nutcracker on YouTube. So yes, you could say that ballet does have something special in my heart, but nowadays my interests have been shifted towards, let's say, opera, theater, and, acting in general. But still, this production of Dutch Doubles definitely was very exciting because of such brilliant choreography and such minimalistic productions, yet very colorful costumes, to say the least. Not to mention brilliant conducting by Maestra Clotilde Otranto, who I felt led the orchestra very beautifully with such flawless control and just a huge passion for what she loves doing and a huge passion for music. You could really see just how she's able to control the orchestra and basically help them through these, grand compositions of each composer, whether they be classical composers like Mozart or Beethoven or modern composers like those of Michael Gordon and David Lang. She basically really knows her stuff from beginning to end. And the soloists, all of them, I have to say, they were just fantastic. They were able to cope with the physical challenges of, dancing ballet. They were able to give such vivid performances, and the chemistry that each of them have was just so believable, especially in Romance, where we have the two soloists by the names of... Hang on, let me check the... Yeah, basically there were two soloists that did the duet, and the music that was playing or being conducted by Madame Otranto was Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart's Piano Concerto in D Moll, which is basically part 2 in the Romance. So yes, it was just handled very beautifully, and I thought the video segments were just absolutely thrilling and quite calming, yet thrilling to say the least. But the biggest highlight for me for this ballet definitely has to be the fourth act, and that is Shape. I thought the people behind this production went all out into making something very beautiful. The males were basically shirtless, yet the women were in square tutus. I want that to let it sink in. Square tutus. Granted, there were some other ballerinas that had other shapes of tutus, like a semicircle tutu. That's one. A quarter tutu. And a tutu that has, well, that almost looks a bit tattered. Yeah, that just really shows you how much these people basically went out with a bang with this fourth segment. Now, don't get me wrong, I really love the other three segments. I thought that Roulette was really exciting. I thought that Romance was very sweet. And I thought that Dances with Harp, with courtesy to Remy van Kesteren's masterful playing of the harp, was just gorgeous. Not to mention the three males definitely really did their thing very beautifully. And their dancing in this segment was basically a combination of jazz and Broadway, not just ballet. But it's just basically a combination of three styles, which I thought was very exciting. I thought it was just wow. But the one thing, like I said, the one act that really blew the rest out of the water definitely had to be Shapes, because of how innovative it looked and just how avant-garde it really looked. Don't get me wrong, Romance in the video segments definitely felt like I was watching an avant-garde film. But Shape really, as in really, blew everything out of the water. So overall, the conducting by Maestra Otranto was very flawless, not to mention the violin solo by Noe Inui was just fantastic. It was the most masterful playing I have ever heard. Not to mention, every single soloist of the Het Muziektheater Ballet, they all gave it their all. And it was just a very flawless and very beautiful performance that I saw from all four segments. Bravo to everybody. This was definitely an evening of ballet that was very worthwhile. Well, that's all for now. Be sure to tune in tomorrow where I review Arabella, which is also going to be shown at the Het Muziektheater, starring Jacqueline Wagner as Arabella and Agneta Eichenholz as Arabella's younger sister, Zdenka. Now, I know I said in my other video yesterday that Annette Dash was going to sing Arabella. I'm not so sure what happened. I'm sure that she had other plans, or probably she canceled her performance as Arabella, hence Jacqueline Wagner was going to sing Arabella, or basically Jacqueline Wagner was basically the Arabella for tomorrow. Oh well. At least it's going to be a very wonderful evening tomorrow with two fantastic sopranos, Madame Wagner and Madame Eichenholz as the two sisters. I am very excited for this production of Arabella. Until then, this is Antoni signing off and wishing you all a good night.